Late nights like this. I probably gotta get me more. Yeah. Ouch. Son of a bitch. Better. I gotta get me a pill cutter. Excuse me. Terrific. One didn't get in there, one popped out. So I gotta get me another one in there. Alright. Here we go. We'll take care of that one a little bit later. Yeah, it was a acetaminophen generic. But I also had a few of the regular Tylenol in there. You can't break them as much. You have to have a pill cutter for those damn things. But generic, you can cut them up in half. I just want to snap them and be able to eat them that way. Got a foot. Gouty foot. Alright, right now it's about a little after 11 o'clock at night. It's about a couple of minutes afterwards. Yeah, it's still Tuesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday. Yeah, it's the 5th. Okay. I was doing an audio, remembering of a few things concerning about the days of yore. Not of mine, but actually of mine and everybody else's. Video gaming. I think I talked about it a long time ago. People consider multiplayer, when they hear about it, they think about the platforms. They think about the Xbox, the Segas, the consoles. They never did see the original gaming. Board games. You got your board games, you got your card games. Well, that's your multiplayer right there. Including when you had poker and blackjack and stuff. Move over to the board games. Monopoly. Sorry. Trouble. And the other adventure games that they actually had. Trying to get to one place to another. But when it came down for the digital, there was nothing more lovely than having a multiplayer game. Not going against an opponent who is right next to you with hands on the controls. No, I'm talking about a four controller spread on a whole game of Gauntlet. All you got to do is survive. They've gotten more and more sophisticated afterwards. Of course, I still had single player games left and right, as I also was used to growing up as a kid, to a 20-year-old old fart. And then, of course, you had people with network connections, more direct network connections instead of the dial-ups. They can afford more of that with bandwidth. And go across the country and T1, T2 lines, talk to people, go into chat rooms, get into chat games, get into the multiplayer when you log into those damn things. Get the shell of the game loaded up in your computer. It's usually the PC, but not the... But some of them actually did have the other games going on. But it's basically PC. World of PC. Warcraft. I heard about it, never tried it. Couldn't do it. only because we didn't have the connections for it. Some people are so lucky about that one. They can afford it, they can go online, and they can have hours and hours worth of it. If they were at an internet cafe of sorts, where there was nothing but wall-to-wall PCs or Apples, and you can actually log in to those places, and the fun you could have. I've heard too many horror stories about Japan and actually about Korea. One of the two countries. Some of the players get so intense that they start killing themselves over games like that. When certain realms come up and you have to fight like crazy, you create a character of sorts. Medieval, fantasy, space, whatever your preference is. And then you have to build them up by how many battles you win and lose, and potions that you, or actually materials that you obtain and use. Now, if you were of the old D&D, the Dungeons and Dragons, the old hardcover books with the maps that you make, about 5 or 6 books just to get a good game going sometimes. Character creation, map creation, uh, how you build up and build out your characters. What are the rules and regulations for it? What was the things that you wanted to avoid most? And then you would have your parties for that. Back in the 80s, they had those games. I was never invited to any one of them. It sucked. Could have joined, could have played. Give me enough information, maybe I would have figured something else. I had a fertile enough imagination. But I wasn't geeky enough for these guys. I really wasn't. So never had a chance of playing with those kind of games. Wish I had. That would have been fun. But then again, I guess I was turning out to be a non kind of hangout kind of guy. Yeah, well, I had my own group, and we were similar to that effect. Nobody else wanted us in the first place. But those kinds of groups usually last. Sometimes we do split apart. Sometimes we grow up and have families and have lives. But we try to keep in contact with each other. The games we would play. I'd be doing Monty Hall because I didn't know what the hell was going on. I didn't have the books. I couldn't afford the books. There was no way my family was able to get that much money to afford the damn books in the dice. You have your cube, and you had your pyramid, and you had your polygon, and you had your octagon. About 4 or 5 dice to tell whether or not if your character is going to be a Superman or is he going to be a super wimp. Is he going to have powers or he's going to have nothing? Is he basically roadkill or is he going to be the ultimate? Depending what the roll of the dice was. And depending on what the charts were going to be like. And these days it's gotten more and more sophisticated even with the cards. Where the hell was I? Well, this is Rip Van Winkle you're talking to. Rip just woke up from a nap and now he's realizing that the world's changed on him so damn much. He's playing catch up and I don't know who I'm playing catch up with because everyone else seems to be on the same page and I'm not. Because everyone else has got the same equipment. I don't. Everyone's doing the same damn thing and I'm not. because that's them, not me. So if I would hear these things, I would hear these stories, I would hear people talking about their own code names, what they're going to be. People that make fun about Warcraft. And CIS made fun of it a few times. Many times with one of their main characters. Elf Lord. Yeah, really must have been nice to be a real computer geek during those days. It really must have been fun playing with people online like that. And unfortunately, I know better ways of how to play the games that way. Sure, I played games, card games with my family. We played spades. These days, I don't even know how to play that anymore. Hearts, forget it. Gin rummy, forget it. I mean, I remember how to play some of them, and then you get older and you get out of practice and you forget everything. I know how to play Uno. I can do Uno. But when it comes down for creating a character from scratch like that, I got a friend of mine who, uh, when he can, he's got his own little D&D group. He's invited me a few times. I just haven't been able to get over there to play them. And to tell you the truth, I forgot what it all was about. I would have to get apps or something like that to get myself refreshed, or download the information from old and how they're playing the games these days. TSR was the book publisher company back in the 80s, late 70s, early 80s, when I remember they were getting out there with the D&D. People thought D&D was bad news. It was evil in the game. Well, yeah, you're battling evil. I mean, you do have classifications. Whether you're going to be an uber kind of guy or you're going to be the slimiest, schmuckiest schmuck out there. Or you just don't give a shit about anything, about both sides, and you're just going to be chaotic, period. That was me. But I guess it really didn't matter as much. Kind of sucked, really. Some of the multiplayer games that they had out there, I mean, I could have played with them, but no, if I had been a joiner instead of an observer all the damn time. Kind of sucks, really. Observe life like crazy and how it interacts, but never be part of it. How does that work? How does that work being an observer and stuff like that and fun like that? It doesn't. I mean, either you participate or you don't participate. As I said before, some people didn't like the games because they thought it was too demonic for them. Let's face it, you're fighting imaginary creatures left and right. You're fighting your own damn nightmares. And sometimes you'd have nightmares over the damn nightmares there that you create. There'd be uh, there'd be different games on how to deal with different characters that you're either going to be turning into or you're going to be fighting against. And if I had them, I would, but I don't. So. But I don't know if anyone's made any apps like that. Would have been something. To play a DD game like that, I mean, these days you just pop in your character with all these sim games out there and have a blast. I feel like I'm so damn old school right now. I'm an old doddering fool. But right now, as it is, I am an old doddering old fool because I got gout in both my feet. Only one of them seems to be worse than the other one. So, when it comes down for multiple players, I guess I have just wasted all my lifespan not being one. And by the time I think I wanted to be, I just lost everything. Yeah, it kind of sucks, doesn't it? You gotta grasp it while you can, while you're young. When you're an old fart and getting older, it's harder and harder because you can't keep up with all these young kids. And I'm not just talking about it, Dungeons and Dragons Adventures. I'm also talking about the other kind of multiple player role playing games out there, MMORGs. You have Call of Duty, you have the war games out there, combat, Grand Theft Auto games types out there that put several characters in the same field. You even got a Halo going on. Halo for the Microsoft and for the PC. Yeah, there's a single player game that gets you going, but people would just prefer you exploring the world yourself, doing the world yourself, and just having a ball that way. When I played my video games that I've got, and very few of them are still able to work without scratches or nicks or anything else in them, or even cracks in the damn thing, and you're screwed on that one. You get any cracks in your DVD and you're toss it. That's it's gone. Don't repair it. Toss it. Just to make sure that if you actually find a replacement disc, you're not going to be charged an arm and a leg for the damn thing, and hope to God that you get a workable one that you can play with. So when you are playing with the games on there, playing different outlets like Star Wars. Star Wars has got its own lands out there that you can go out and kick ass on. Stargate did the same damn thing. Stargate Enterprise on that one. Star Trek, yeah, a few of them, but they're still trying to build up that more and more, where you're a starship commander and you're in charge of this ship or that ship or this fleet or that fleet. But when it comes down for Star Wars, as I said before, there's the Battlefront games. And they go crazy over the newest Battlefront that they've got because the graphics are so sharp. And if you've got a Microsoft Xbox, you're playing with one of the better lines out there. Sometimes the PC games will work on it, but sometimes it was better if you were playing with the console games. Not me, I'm a keyboard man myself. I'm a keyboard mouse man. I'll deal with that. The old Star Wars Battlefronts, I can play with those. I'll be bored as hell, but I can play with them. It's just, I don't know. Sometimes I'd like to play against somebody else on the damn thing, you know. But I don't think anybody is out there, and if they are, I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised. Anyway, I thought I'd kick this one off my damn chest. I was thinking about it. I was watching this thing called Leroy Jenkins. Anybody out there knows anything about Leroy Jenkins? Leroy Jenkins. The World of Warcraft, you had several characters, different classifications, different warriors, paladins, maybe magicians, maybe different skill levels. And then you got a crazy ass paladin warrior called Leroy Jenkins. I don't know if the story was true or not. And this one particular hopeless battle that they're going to be going against dragons. That Leroy picks a time where the leader is still trying to pick his plan. Everyone knows what the hell they're supposed to be doing because of their skill sets. And Leroy goes in there screaming his head off, going, Leroy Jenkins! And then all hell breaks loose. They all die. What the fuck, Leroy? I heard the story. Just didn't bother to care about the damn thing in the first place. Came across it on YouTube. I'm like, shit. That would have been something to see online, wouldn't it? Well, maybe he's got just as much problems as I do as it is. Oh, by the way, apparently some people out there have a problem with some mental health. It's mental illness. I mean, if you have something called mental health, yeah, you're all right with mental health. Well, my health to me is bad, so you can call it an illness or what? But health is supposed to be good, and illness isn't. So I may change my title a little bit to mental illness. Why not? I still got it. I'm not a pariah. I'm not leprous. I'm just a guy suffering through a hell of a lot of crap going through his head at this point over here. And no, I don't scream out Leroy Jenkins. But I will grunt and groan because I got pain in my joints, especially my feet. I got gout. We gotta have gout. Because it's too damn painful not to be gout. And if it is gout, I'm still screwed anyway. I'm disabled. Can't work with gouty feet. I mean, you can treat it with pain relievers and some kind of weird ass diets and exercises. And that's where some of the bigger health plans, health organizations are talking about. There's no cure for the gout. Once you got the uric acid screwed up in your bloodstream, you're screwed. This is what I've been researching concerning about my own damn condition. What the hell? I gotta be informed anyway, see what the fuck's going on with my body. So, this is not Leroy Jenkins signing off. This is the Zombie Weaver signing off.